You are not surrounded by enemies, you are surrounded by actors. The dangerous people in your life are not the ones who hate you. They are the ones who smile at you. The traitor does not arrive with a sword. He arrives with a compliment. The manipulator does not control you with threats, he controls you with kindness that has conditions. And the most dangerous person in your life is not the one who argues with you. It is the one who never argues, never disagrees, never says no. They are studying you, not loving you. Most people think time reveals character. They think if someone has been around for years, they must be loyal. But time does not reveal character. Time reveals patterns. Pressure reveals character. There are 3 moments, only 3, where a human being cannot hide who they really are. 3 psychological pressure points where the mask slips for half a second. Miss those seconds and you will trust the wrong person. See those seconds and you will never be manipulated again. Tonight I am going to show you how to see the cracks in people, not the mask. We live in a world where everyone is performing. Every morning people wake up, put on a personality, rehearse a character, and walk into the world like actors entering a stage. Your boss has a character. Your friends have characters. Society runs on masks. Without masks, there would be chaos. But there are 2 types of actors in this world. The first group performs to survive. The second group performs to control. The first group wants acceptance, the second group wants power. And the difference between the 2 is revealed in one very small moment. The moment you say no. This is what I call the micro-denial test. If you want to understand someone's true character, do not watch how they behave when everything is going well. Do not watch how they behave when they need you. Watch how they behave when you deny them something small. Not something big. Something small and meaningless. A small favor, a small request, a small change of plan. Can you grab me a coffee? No, I can't right now. Can we meet today? No, I'm busy. Can I borrow this? No, not today. Now watch carefully, not their words, their face, their eyes, their tone, their energy. A healthy person accepts a small no easily. Their ego is not damaged. Their mood does not change. They move on. But a manipulative person, a narcissistic person, a controlling person, they react differently. Because they do not see you as an independent person, they see you as an extension of themselves. In their mind, when they ask, you should comply. When you refuse, you are not disagreeing, you are rebelling. And in that moment, for half a second, the mask slips. You might see a flash of anger, a sudden cold expression, a sarcastic comment, a guilt trip, a passive-aggressive response, silence, a change in tone. It happens fast. Very fast, but once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Why is this important? Because if someone cannot handle a small no, they will never handle a big no. If they get angry because you refused a small favor, imagine what they will do when you refuse to lend money, you refuse to sign a contract, you refuse to stay in a relationship, you refuse to obey them. The small no reveals the entitlement of the soul. It tells you whether their kindness is real or whether their kindness is simply the price you pay for obedience. Respect is revealed by how people treat your boundaries. Anyone can be nice when you are useful. Anyone can be kind when you are obedient. Anyone can be friendly when you agree with them. But the moment you say no, you find out whether they respect you or whether they were just managing you. Remember this carefully. A person who gets angry at your boundaries is a person who benefited from you having none. And that is the first crack in the mask. But control is only one part of human nature. The second part is much darker, because some people don't want to control you. Some people want something worse. They want you to never surpass them. And that brings us to the second revelation. Most people think you find out who your real friends are when you are struggling. That is wrong. Strangers will help you when you are struggling. Enemies will comfort you when you are struggling. Even people who secretly dislike you will support you when you are struggling. Why? Because your pain does not threaten them. Your failure does not intimidate them. Your weakness makes them comfortable. But success is different. Success is where friendships go to die. There is a moment I call the silent funeral. It is the moment you share good news with someone. They smile, but not fully. They congratulate you, but change the subject quickly. They make a joke. They downplay your achievement. They compare it to someone else. They remind you how lucky you were. They immediately talk about their own achievements. Or worst of all, they go quiet, very quiet. This is the silent funeral, because in that moment they are not celebrating your success. They are mourning their position in comparison to you. Your success forces people to evaluate their own life. Your progress becomes their mirror. Your discipline exposes their laziness. Your courage exposes their fear. Your growth exposes their stagnation. And not everyone can handle that mirror. So instead of becoming inspired, they become uncomfortable. Instead of becoming motivated, they become resentful. Instead of becoming supportive, they become competitive. These are the people who will clap when you start, but disappear when you win. Watch carefully for these signs. The delayed congratulations, the backhanded compliment, the subject change, the comparison, the joke that lowers your achievement, the sudden emotional distance, the lack of questions about your success. People who are genuinely happy for you become curious. They ask questions, they want details. They want to understand how you did it. They celebrate with energy. Envious people do the opposite. They reduce the moment. They minimize the achievement. They redirect attention. Because your success feels like their failure. And here is the dangerous part. People who cannot celebrate your success will secretly celebrate your failure. These are the smiling sabotagers. They don't attack you directly. They don't insult you openly. They don't compete with you honestly. They simply give bad advice. Discourage your ideas. Delay your progress. Distract your focus. Support you only when you are losing. Disappear when you are winning. These people are extremely dangerous because they look like friends, sound like friends, and act like friends. But they are emotionally invested in you staying small. If you ever want to know who truly supports you, don't tell people your problems. Tell people your success and watch who goes quiet. That silence will tell you everything. But control and envy are still not the darkest parts of human nature. The darkest part is revealed when a person believes there are no consequences. And that is the final test. There is a very old idea that says, if you want to test someone's character, do not give them problems. Give them power. Because adversity reveals strength, but power reveals character. This is the final test, the impunity factor. Impunity means the ability to act without consequences. In simple terms, who is a person when they believe they can get away with anything? You don't need to make someone rich or famous to see this. You just need to watch them in small moments where they have power over someone else. Watch how they treat waiters, taxi drivers, customer service workers, interns, assistants, children, animals, people who cannot benefit them, people who cannot fight back. This is where the mask disappears completely. Some people are polite to their boss and rude to the waiter, polite to rich people and rude to poor people, polite to important people and cruel to weak people. This tells you everything, because their personality is not kindness. Their personality is strategy. They are not respectful. They are careful. There is a huge difference.
Anyone can be nice to people who can destroy them. Character is revealed by how you treat people who cannot do anything to you.
That is the real personality. That is the shadow self. That is who they would be in a world without rules. Look for these signs. Enjoying embarrassing others. Correcting people publicly. Making people wait on purpose. Ignoring people they consider unimportant. Talking differently to important versus unimportant people. Using power to make others uncomfortable. Being kind only when observed. These are not confidence traits, these are predator traits. And here is the truth most people learn too late. The way a person treats others when they have power is the way they will treat you when you are weak. Maybe right now they respect you because you are useful, you are equal, you are strong, you are independent. But life changes. One day you might need help, one day you might lose your job, one day you might get sick, one day you might depend on them. And on that day they will not treat you how they treat you now. They will treat you how they treat the waiter, the driver, the intern, the weak. That is why you must always watch how people treat those below them, not those above them. Because character is not how someone treats the king. Character is how someone treats the pawn. So remember the 3 revelations. How they react when you say no. How they react when you win. How they behave when they have power. If you see 1, be careful. If you see 2, create distance. If you see 3, you are dealing with a very dangerous person. But before you start analyzing everyone in your life, do something much harder. Turn the magnifying glass around. Ask yourself, how do I react when people tell me no? How do I feel when my friends succeed? How do I treat people who cannot help me? Because the goal is not just to avoid bad people. The goal is to not become one. Power is not becoming feared. Power is becoming untouchable. And you become untouchable not by controlling others, but by controlling yourself. If this video made you see people differently, good. If this video made you see yourself differently, even better. Because once you see human nature clearly, you stop being naive. You stop being manipulated. You stop being used. And you start choosing who deserves access to your life. Protect your energy. Protect your mind. Protect your future. And remember this line for the rest of your life. Not everyone who smiles at you is your friend. Not everyone who helps you wants you to win, and not everyone who is kind is good. Subscribe if you want to understand people. Join if you want to master the game. And I'll see you in the next video.